I'm Jason with the All Things Open community. We're here with Jason Baum. Please introduce yourself.
Thanks so much, Jason. Yeah, Jason Baum. I'm a Senior Director of Developer Relations for Sauce Labs. I've been doing it at Sauce Labs for about 2.5 years. Overall, 5 years in tech only. But I've been working in community for 18 years.
Awesome.
So brought my sort of association 501c3 background into tech, which it fit perfectly with open source. And yeah.
Perfect. Well, I want to talk a little bit about community,
Sure.
Since you have some experience there. If you had to start a developer community today, is there anything that you would do differently?
Oof, that's a good question. And I was thinking, I think if I was going to start over, I would align goals to the company goals first. I think many of us in community are sort of this like righteous, virtuous people. Like it's for the community. You got to make sure we serve their needs, which is absolutely true. That balance is really hard versus balancing the community's needs versus the company's needs. And I think defining what is that thing that is going to give you that ROI for a company, because no one wants to talk about ROI in community, but it's really important so that you can maintain the community for the community.
I agree, and I think you're right. Getting that alignment up front is better, because if you try to shoehorn it in, it just doesn't work out, and then the community ultimately suffers, right?
I've seen it so many times, and unfortunately really good communities disappear because the company felt like it was no longer aligned to their goals.
Right.
And so there you have a whole bunch of people who don't have a home anymore, right?
Exactly. Well, why are you passionate about open source? How'd you get involved?
Sauce Labs has such a deep history in open source, founded by the Selenium creator 20 years ago, Jason Huggins. And so, just the story there alone sort of got me piqued my interest. But the open standards and open web is such a cool thing to basically say, we're going to have the community build it. And it's for the community. And anything goes in a way. And so making sure that the software is what you want it to be, the tools are what you want them to be, is kind of a different thing. And I think unfortunately we're seeing a lot of companies saying, wait, hold on, don't do anything, and taking it back, and then the community rebelling a bit. I think as long we need to do our jobs of saying why these open source tools that are owned by a company are important. Making sure the company's, the community's best interests are being voiced to the company in a way that it makes it interesting enough for them to keep the community around and the open source open. So that we can maintain that level of an open web.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned that Selenium is 20 years.
It is. Today, actually.
Should we sing happy birthday?
Let's sing happy birthday.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Selenium. The open web is great to you. Yeah, great. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
There you go.
Sorry, Internet.
They make it look so much easier in SNL when two people are singing and they don't know what they're going to say.
Yeah. They're more seasoned in the promptu stuff, I guess.
We'll give them credit, yeah.
Well, let's dive into Selenium.
Sure.
What is Selenium, and what's contributed to its success?
Yeah, Selenium is simply just a library that automates the browser. And over time, there are tools that are built on top of it, and you can run, basically testers. Testing is its primary use case, but it's also used to scrape the web. That's its second use case. So actually, AI and web scraping couldn't exist without, the LLMs that are out today couldn't exist without Selenium.
Fascinating, yeah.
And what makes it successful today is actually a pretty cool story about how it was founded and where it ended up. Selenium was founded by Jason Huggins while he was at Google as a project. He needed to automate the browser and scrape the web. And so he built that, which is what is Selenium IDE today. And then he met Simon Stewart a few years later, and they created WebDriver, and that's become a W3C standard. But what keeps it alive, I think, are the passionate community that exists that became so engrossed in being able to do their jobs easier at scale and automating testing. It really made a big difference. and it actually wasn't always an open. I mean, it was an open tool, but it was owned by Sauce Labs when he found Sauce Labs 4 years after Selenium, and when he went for VC funding, a lot of the VCs wanted Selenium, and that would make Sauce Labs pretty much the only player in town.
Got it.
And he didn't really want that. That's kind of against the open web. That's against, the free and open web standards. So instead, he gave Selenium to the community. He gave it to the Software Freedom Conservancy, and they still own the license today. And so the community maintains it. That being said, Sauce has always remained, the core. Some of the core contributors, our competitors, also maintain it. And it allowed for competitors to exist. But I think in doing that, you have this fair market. And in many ways, I think that led to Selenium being 20 today and to Sauce Labs being 16 today.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Power of community, everyone.
That's right. That's right.
Well, do you have any tips, best practices, or new tools that you're using that you could share with the All Things Open community?
Hey, this is Todd with All Things Open. Thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button. We've got a lot of new content coming we think you're going to be interested in. One final favor, be sure to go to allthingsopen.org, allthingsopen.org to see everything that we do. Back to the video.
Geez, best practices. I am learning more and more about, like we all are, AI. I feel like by the day, different applications for AI. I'm not of a big belief that AI is going to take jobs today. But when we're looking at testing specifically, there are use cases, and test data analysis is certainly one of them. I'm seeing tools popping up that are claiming that they will write your test cases for you. I think that's like everyone's dream is like, I don't want to write a test case. But I haven't seen one do it effectively.
Right.
But test data analysis is certainly something today that I think AI can actually do for you.
So I've been learning a lot about human-in-the-loop components of AI, and it sounds like that it applies to the testing as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great. Cool.
Yep.
What advice can you offer to help the conference attendees apply all the things they've learned over the few days after the conference is over? Do you have any tips for that?
Yeah, All Things Open is such a great conference. There are so many amazing tools here who are exhibiting, and I think there's like 5,000 people or something. It certainly feels like a lot. I would write things down because when you get home, you're going to forget it.
Yeah.
And we always say we're going to follow up with that person who you meet. Actually do it because I've made some amazing connections here. I've met people who have sponsored meetups that we've done. I've met people who we followed up and had virtual coffee and still maintain a great relationship with, especially in the community world with meetups and things like that. You never know who your next big connection is going to be that you can do something really cool for the community. So I would follow up on those connections you make.
Great advice.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, thanks for your time today.
Thanks so much, Jason. Really appreciate it.
Perfect. Thank you.